I got hacked, and you're not gonna believe what happened. But make sure you stay tuned for the whole video and like and subscribe. I started out with working on my computer, looking up with property managers. So I was looking up apartments, and it took me to this weird website that obviously didn't exist. And I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. My computer starts talking robotically, like, please call this Microsoft number. And it's a Microsoft computer, right? It's a Microsoft Pro. So I was like, I'm gonna call the number. Called the number, and it took me to a lady that was so-and-so Microsoft. And I was telling her about the problems of the computer. I told her all the details, what was going on. She's like, okay, we can help get this fixed. So what she did was told me commands to put in my computer and press buttons, and little to find out, like, she was trying to get in and hack my computer, but silly me, I wasn't even thinking. But I didn't even find out until after the fact, when all of this story has ended. But to resume the story, I was so focused, just wanted to get this problem figured out with the computer. And you know, that robotic noise, I asked her, like, how do I get that thing off, that noise off? She's like, just turn down your volume. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, there should be a way that you can turn that off. And like I said, I was literally just not smart thinking about what was going on. But, you know, just with the clues, with looking back, it was definitely a learning lesson. So she was using me to put in coding for the computer, basically asking me what the status was for them hacking into my computer, which I didn't even realize. So the problem was, she was telling me that all of my computer, my phone, even the Wi-Fi network in our house was all hacked. So I was like, that's not good at all. Even including my bank accounts, my business and my personal. She's like, check your personal business accounts. And I was like, okay. That kind of came out as a red flag because she's Microsoft. So the lady from Microsoft wanted me to connect me to my bank. So she's like, what bank do you use? And this is obviously another red flag. Microsoft should not be connecting you to your bank. And I was just literally clueless. So she transferred me to corporate of the bank we were using for our business account. And my business account is separate from my personal account. So I called our business account because she was saying, make sure nobody's stealing anything or adding anything to your account. So I got transferred to the guy that was answering the phone from the bank, and he had an Indian accent, and he was just asking what was going on. And the lady from the previous call from Microsoft told me to tell everything to that guy, which was kind of a red flag looking back. No, kind of, it is a red flag looking back. So the guy was like, what's your last 4 digits of your social security? And sadly, I took the bait and I told him. I should have never said anything about that, but usually the banks will ask, you know, for your last 4 digits. So that's why I believed it. And it's not typical that they ask that, but sometimes, like, my bank will ask the last 4 digits of your social to make sure, you know, it's truly your account if you're going to a different location. So it was just really hard to believe that all that happened so quick. And luckily, though, nothing bad happened. So the guy told us that there's supposedly $500,000 in our account from like a Pornhub website thing in China. And we're like, what the crap? So I called my dad, you know, to check on and call the bank of what was going on. And he said, and I was on the line with both of them at the same time. So I had the guy on speaker and then my dad on speaker so they could hear, because I was just really confused and trying to figure this out. And you can see how this all escalated so quickly, literally in a matter of an hour or two. And basically, there was no money taken out or put in there. So that gave my dad a red flag. He's like, Justin, get off the fudging phone. Get off with that guy. And the guy went totally silent. No joke. For 2 or 3 minutes. And I was asking so many questions like, who are you with? And no answer at all. Like completely silent. And that's how I knew all along those fools were the hackers. So that was definitely a learning lesson, and I can tell you that that's never gonna fudging happen to me again. I'm not gonna let that happen. And it was definitely something that I was very gullible in. I am not a gullible guy, but I just wanted to figure out this problem. And obviously I fell for it. But it seemed really real. So all I want to say is be very careful when you're online and clicking on stuff. This is a lesson learned, to help show you guys what I went through. Nothing bad happened, and luckily we were able to move forward with this and take this as a lesson so it won't happen again.